45-year-old WWE star to play a key role in Jey Uso's Jey Uso feud. WWE expected to make more budget-cutting releases. CM Punk's WWE Rumors address. WWE brings back CM Punk after 9 years, but on one condition: Brock Lesnar facing Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio could soon be betrayed by close WWE associate. Huge names set to participate in the WWE Survivor Series War Games match. Roman Reigns to face his biggest challenge yet at WWE Elimination Chamber 2024. Let's jump right into it. WWE expected to make more budget-cutting releases. The WWE merger took place earlier this year and saw the company be forced to fire hundreds of employees in an effort to make budget cuts. This includes names from backstage, corporate, superstars, and even some well-known officials, but it seems that these cuts may not be over. According to a recent report by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, the company could be forced to make more cuts in the near future as they look to eliminate expenses and save around $100 million. The company noted that there will be a great decrease in expenses in eliminating jobs in marketing, finance, human resources, and legal when it comes to overlapping personnel in UFC and WWE who can do those jobs for both companies. They expect to save $50 million to $100 million, and the figure was said to be expected to be the high end of this range, with 75% of the savings being on the books for 2024. It is worth noting that superstars were not named as one of the areas that the company could be looking to cut, since they have recently brought in several new names and the roster was already cut just 2 months ago. WWE released many stars back in September, including the likes of Dolph Ziggler, Matt Riddle, Emma, Riddick Moss, and a number of other high-profile names. Despite the merger, the company still turned a profit for the latest quarter, but it seems that there is now a plan in place to cut their costs down even more. Vince McMahon recently sold 8.4 million shares, which were believed to be worth around $713 million. Do you think the company needs to make more cuts? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. CM Punk's WWE Rumors addressed. Glenn Jacobs, also known as Kane, recently gave his thoughts on whether his former opponent CM Punk could return to WWE. Punk is a free agent after receiving his release from AEW in September. It has been speculated that the 45-year-old could rejoin WWE in time for Survivor Series. The event will take place on November 25 in Punk's hometown of Chicago, Illinois. Jacobs spoke to Sportskeeda Wrestling senior editor Bill Apter at the Icons of Wrestling convention. The Hall of Famer said Punk potentially returning will ultimately come down to business. That Punk joining WWE, I don't know, Jacobs stated. That's a business decision. I always wish everybody the best. Again, in the end, it's gonna be what everyone thinks is best for business. I really don't know that much about the controversy, actually. I haven't been following it that closely. I always want the best for everybody and hope that happens. In the 2014 Royal Rumble match, CM Punk lasted 49 minutes before being eliminated by Glenn Jacobs' Kane character. At the time, the Big Red Machine was a member of the Authority faction. The storyline development planted the seeds for Punk to face Authority leader Triple H at WrestleMania 30. However, the best in the world legitimately walked out of WWE shortly before the post-Royal Rumble episode of Raw. Almost a decade on, several hints have been dropped about Punk possibly returning to the company. Would you like to see CM Punk back in WWE? WWE brings back CM Punk after 9 years, but on one condition. Recent reports have suggested that there is a possibility of the former world champion making their return to WWE, but it would only happen if a certain condition was met, according to wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer. The name in question is none other than CM Punk, who was a part of the Stanford-based promotion from 2005 to 2014 and AEW from 2021 to 2023. Ever since the 45-year-old was released from Tony Khan's promotion, the rumors about his return to World Wrestling Entertainment have been hot and heavy. Ahead of the Survivor Series premium live event in Chicago, it seemed as though the company updated Punk's profile page on their website, possibly teasing his massive return. However, those rumors have been denied, and may be due to the star being mentioned in a website piece instead. Amidst the chaos of the best in the world's possible return to WWE, Dave Meltzer cleared the air in the recent Wrestling Observer newsletter. The wrestling journalist noted that even though there's a definite no about Punk showing up at Survivor Series, his return to the company can't be ruled out. Meltzer shared that the Punk's return would depend on one condition being the Stanford-based promotion believing that there is a massive fan groundswell for the star. There have been chants for Punk on a recent Raw episode and also at Crown Jewel 2023, which may lead to the company to keep an open mind for the 45-year-old's return based on the fans' responses. Dave Meltzer reminded his readers of instances where stars such as Cody Rhodes, Goldberg, and Bret Hart, who never wanted to work under Vince McMahon, eventually returned to World Wrestling Entertainment. The wrestling journalist also mentioned that Triple H, Nick Khan, and Mr. McMahon would have the the final call on CM Punk's potential comeback. While speaking on a recent episode of the Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T addressed the fact that the best in the world hadn't left the Stanford-based promotion on the best of terms. The Hall of Famer contrastingly mentioned other stars who left World Wrestling Entertainment in a similar fashion and ended up returning at some point. The thing is, also, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm not gonna put it past WWE hiring him back. I don't know. I can't say. But I do know that just about everybody that's left WWE has come back no matter what problems they've had. It will be exciting to see if CM Punk finds his way back into the company under Triple H's regime and shows up at Survivor Series in Chicago. Do you want to see CM Punk back in WWE? Brock Lesnar facing Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. WWE Universe has recently reacted to Braun Breaker facing Brock Lesnar for the main event at WrestleMania 40 next year. Both Breaker and Lesnar have cemented their position in the industry by their immense hard work and performances. While the Beast Incarnate has been a part of the company for more than a decade, Breaker has only been in the industry for a few years. But despite being here for a shorter span of time, the NXT superstar has definitely made an impact. Taking to social media, one of the fans asked the audience if they would like to watch Breaker go against the Beast Incarnate for the main event at the upcoming WrestleMania. While the majority of the fans seem excited to watch Breaker and Lesnar together inside the ring for the latter's retirement match, some suggested that Lesnar should face Gunther too. WWE superstar John Cena shared his honest opinion on Brock Lesnar as an in-ring performer. While speaking in an interview on WWE's official YouTube channel, the Cenation leader mentioned that although Lesnar is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but is still underrated. Cena further spoke of the Beast Incarnate as a person and added how genuine Brock is. The veteran also stated that although both of them have different directions for their future, they are always supporting each other regardless. I love Brock Lesnar as a performer. I think he's extremely underrated even though he's in that conversation of the greatest of all time. And I love him as a human being. He's wholeheartedly himself and shoots you straight. At least you know where you stand with him at all times, and I really admire that about him. And he's been wonderful to me over the years. And another person that we kind of matriculated together, and we both have our different paths to success, and we're both rooting for each other constantly. It would be exciting to see what plans WWE has going forward for Brock Lesnar in the near future. What are your thoughts on the same? Rey Mysterio could soon be betrayed by close WWE associate. According to wrestling veteran Jim Cornette, Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio could be backstabbed by one of his LDO stablemates after what went down at WWE Crown Jewel 2023. In Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the legendary Luchador failed to defend his United States Championship against social media sensation Logan Paul. The match's closing moments saw the 28-year-old being handed a pair of brass knuckles by one of his entourage. However, LDO member Santos Escobar came to the aid of a Hall of Famer and Chase Paul's associate in the arena. Well, the 39-year-old star accidentally left the brass knuckles on the ring apron, which allowed the YouTube sensation to become the new US champion. This was a huge blunder by Escobar that cost WWE Hall of Famer his US title, and the same was discussed on an episode of the Jim Cornette Experience. The legendary manager shared that he believes very soon Santos Escobar will turn heel and betray Rey Mysterio, given that it has been teased several times before on WWE SmackDown. But the more I see of this, something's gonna happen where Escobar stabs Rey Mysterio in the back because they cannot make Rey a heel. But there's going to have to be some conflict, and they tease a time or two before I think, Cornette said. The Hall of Famer defeated Austin Theory on the August 11 edition of SmackDown to become the new United States champion. After 86 days, the legend dropped the title at Crown Jewel on November 4th. It appears that the former WWE champion has bagged himself an unwanted record in Saudi Arabia, as he became the only superstar to lose the title at the event this year. The US title had never changed hands at Crown Jewel, but following Mysterio's loss to Logan Paul, he became the first superstar to drop the title at the PLD. Only time will tell if Santos Escobar double-crosses his idol after things went south at Crown Jewel. Do you think Escobar will betray Rey Mysterio on WWE SmackDown? Huge names set to participate in the WWE Survivor Series War Games match. Former WWE champion Drew McIntyre could be the fifth and final member of the Judgment Day at Survivor Series. McIntyre seems to have lost his way over the last few weeks. It all started when Cody Rhodes welcomed Jey Uso to Monday Night Raw. Since then, McIntyre made it clear that he was only going to work for himself and not be anyone's savior. He was bitter about missing his chances at winning championship gold due to interferences from the bloodline. He even walked out of Raw this past Monday after a loss to Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel. Veteran journalist Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Newsletter reported that Drew McIntyre could be the fifth member of Team Judgment Day. The men's War Games match right now is listed as having Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor and JD McDonough. There were reports that this will change and McIntyre will be part of the Judgment Day team. I was just told that this is under consideration and could happen. He mentioned that there were a few possibilities on who could join the baby faces, but the likes of Kevin Owens, Ricochet, or even Bronson Reed were being discussed. That would lead to someone having to be added to the other side. While there's a roster full of people who would fit that bill, there is nobody obvious. Kevin Owens makes the most sense on a storyline basis. Ricochet would fit from a spectacular basis, but he's questionable for that date due to the possibility of a concussion. Bronson Reed would be an unpredictable pick who would benefit from a main event, Meltzer said. We are just a couple of weeks away from WWE Survivor Series and 3 matches have already been announced. This past week on Raw, WWE official Adam Pearce was fed up with the constant brawls between Judgment Day and other members of the roster. He announced a War Games match where Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso would team up to take on Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day. The Miz emerged as the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship and will challenge Gunther for the title at Survivor Series. Zoe Stark won a hellacious battle royal to emerge as the challenger for Rhea Ripley's Women's World title. Are you excited for the WWE Survivor Series? Roman Reigns to face his biggest challenge yet at WWE Elimination Chamber 2024. Roman Reigns continues his unprecedented reign of dominance in WWE, with his latest conquest being LA Knight. However, following Crown Jewel is likely to be absent from any upcoming premium live events in 2023, including Survivor Series. Furthermore, the undisputed champion is not being promoted for any appearances on SmackDown either. However, this prolonged absence from the company could potentially backfire on the Tribal Chief, as Triple H may have a significant announcement in store for next year's Elimination Chamber premium live event. The potential scenario that might unfold could see Reigns facing repercussions from the chief content officer for his absence, resulting in him being compelled to defend his undisputed title inside the chamber at the PLE in Australia. Since securing the championship, Reigns has rarely defended his title in multi-man matches. However, a title defense inside the Elimination Chamber could inject excitement among fans on the road to WrestleMania 40. Additionally, it is crucial to note that the Elimination Chamber will be an international premium live event for the Stamford-based promotion. WWE typically reserves significant matches for their international shows, making this scenario a plausible possibility. However, as of right now, Reigns is not advertised on the promotional poster for next year's Elimination Chamber. For those who may not be aware, Elimination Chamber 2024 is scheduled to take place on Saturday, February 24, 2024 at the Optus Stadium in Perth, Western Australia. This event will mark the first premium live event to be held in Australia since Super Showdown in October 2018. Despite not being officially advertised for the Australian premium live event, fans strongly believe that Roman Reigns is likely to make an appearance at the show based on his recent activity Twitter. This belief stems from Reigns sharing WWE's announcement of ticket sales for the event and subsequently retweeting it, urging fans to purchase tickets and acknowledge his presence. The fact that Reigns is promoting the premium live event despite not being officially scheduled for it yet is a development that fans find difficult to dismiss. However, it remains unclear whether Reigns' promotion of the PLE indicates his participation in next year's Elimination Chamber. It is possible that WWE is utilizing his massive popularity to boost promotion for the show. It will certainly be intriguing to observe how things unfold in the upcoming months and when Roman Reigns will make his next title defense. 45-year-old WWE star to play a key role in Jimmy Uso's Jey Uso feud. One rivalry that has been heating up recently is between Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso. Both stars have different feuds, but they could begin to focus more on each other as WrestleMania nears. However, if they involved a family member, their feud could be more personal. The Usos debuted on the main roster with Tamina Snuka on May 24, 2010. However, their relationship stemmed deeper and longer than that. As part of the Inoue family, they were already involved before becoming superstars, even backstage. Although they are no longer a trio on screen, she continues to go above and beyond for Jimmy and Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso's Jey Uso could begin to heat up after Survivor Series and start to pick up its pace at the Royal Rumble on the road to Mania. During this timeline, Tamina could be inserted to try and rekindle a feud between both brothers at first and ensure that their singles match couldn't come until the show of shows. She could make their rivalry more personal and make fans sympathize with. At the end of the Usos' singles match, she could be there and ensure they could finally rekindle their relationship. The Roman Reigns-led faction has dominated the wrestling industry since its formation in 2020. Unsurprisingly, several wrestlers, Inoue or not, are interested in joining them. One of them is Tamina. On a previous episode of TMZ, Snuka stated that she wants to be part of the bloodline alongside her cousins. However, she is still unsure about her status as the Stanford-based promotion might just suddenly announce it. I feel like everybody wants to be part of the bloodline. So yeah, I'd be stupid if I was like, no, I don't want to be part of the bloodline. Yeah, I want to be part of the bloodline. It's like, yeah, of course, everybody does. But again, you don't ever know how it is. WWE will hit you with the prize from the side of the face and you don't even know where that's coming from. WWE Survivor Series. War Games will be the final premium live event of the Stanford-based promotion this year. One thing fans look forward to the most during the show is War Games, which Jey Uso will be present at. Currently, only 4 stars are listed for each team, and Jimmy could always join the opposite. It remains to be seen what will happen next between Jey and Jimmy Uso.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted.